my name is Ed with CEB Edmonton Photography. Tonight we're going to be making an all-night run to the Grand Canyon. Phoenix Rising Photography, Adam Schmid will be joining me. He's not here right now. But what we thought we'd do is give you a behind-the-scenes look at our run to try to capture the Milky Way, maybe do some star trails. We're not experienced star photographers by any means, but hopefully by sharing some of the behind-the-scenes with you, maybe you'll learn from some of our errors or what we did well, and we can share and learn with each other. So before Adam gets here, I'm going to give you a look at some of the gear that I'm taking up with me. We might try to light a few things up tonight, just sort of have some fun, and we'll go through the gear, and then when Adam gets here, we'll sort of pack everything up and we'll head up on the journey. Thanks. Couple things, you know, we're planning to do some sunrise photos. You know, we looked at photographers' ephemeris. If you guys, you know, one of the first things with star photography that we've learned is it really starts at the computer before you go. Photographersephemeris.com. I'll see if I can share with you some computer screens on that. It's a good planning tool. We know what time the sun's going to come up, but we don't think there's going to be any clouds. At least we hope there aren't any clouds because we're there to shoot the Milky Way. But you know, we like to bring some filters. I use Lee for that. I also have their big stopper, which is a 10-stop neutral density. One of the things that you definitely want to bring is some sort of a headlamp. You definitely want a red light at the night so you don't bother other people, and also you don't fry your eyes. Inside of my bag right here, what I'm bringing with me, a couple of camera bodies. I've got a Canon T2i. I'll probably be doing some time lapse with that. I want to be doing a lot of wide angle to a night. This is not the fastest lens, but it might be good for some star trails. It's a you know, 10 to 22 lens. It's a pretty good lens. I think it's what does it say here? It's 3.5, so that might be fast enough depending on the ISO that I have to shoot with. Okay, my main setup's the 16 to 35 2.8. I'll be shooting mostly with my Canon 5D Mark III tonight. Will be my main setup. Come down here, just another gear bag. You know, in here, got another lens. I don't know that I'll be doing too much with this one tonight, 70 to 200. We've got some light sticks, just to have some fun with. Just some added gear, some radio controllers for some flashes if we want to set off some flash tonight, just in case. Probably really don't even need that. Then my main tripod, really right stuff. Then I like to bring just some old school, just to know where the Milky Way is. You can order this on Amazon. It's a planisphere. I think it's like 10 bucks. And you just tell the time, set it where the time is, your month, and it'll help you locate where that is. So that's sort of the gear that I'm taking up tonight, and hopefully everything works, and I'll start loading it up. So Adam, you worked on the computer a lot today, so why don't you give the briefing about when the Milky Way's up, maybe the weather up there. What are we looking for?
Really just looking for clear conditions. The moon is going to be about halfway full, which could work against us, but since it'll be, you know, going down at about 12:30 at night tonight, Milky Way isn't rising until about 1:30 or so at night. We should be okay. Found all this out just via weather.com and using Stellarium. Those are two of the main go-to things for those items right there.
What about any clouds? Are we expecting any cloud cover tonight?
Should be pretty clear skies after about 10 o'clock tonight from what I saw on weather.com.
Okay, and what about the sun? What time sun's coming up?
Sun is coming up, I believe, about 5:15. It'll probably start to get a little bit light around 4:50, 4:45 is when it'll start to dissipate on the Milky Way, and then sun will be risen by about 5:15.
All right. What type of temperatures tonight?
We're expecting lows of about 32 degrees, but it is Arizona after all, so it's a dry 32 degrees.
Which is why I was able to put on my mountain underwear. So give that a good workout, man. All right, we're gonna start to head out, and we'll see what happens. Okay, we talked a little bit about some of the planning tools that we use to plan for a Milky Way shoot. I thought I'd share some of those with you. The first one I have up here is a photographer's ephemeris. This is a pretty great tool. It's available for the desktop, but it's also you can also use this on your iPhone as well as Android. It's an excellent tool. Basically what this does is you can basically drop a pin, and wherever you drop this pin, it'll tell you where the sun is rising as well as where it's setting. You'll get a visual cue as noted by this lightly colored sort of yellow line here, and you can see the sunset by the orange. It'll also give you the moonrise and the moonset. You'll come over here to the ephemeris, which I don't know the actual definition to this, but it's probably some type of a almanac. And you can see based on the date here what time the sun is rising, approximately where on the horizon that it's coming up, and what time it's setting and where on the horizon that it's setting at. And the same for the moon, and you'll get at sort of what state that the moon is in. Is it a waxing gibbous and or a waning? And if you don't know what that is, you can go on to Google and you'll basically see the various moon phases as to what that is. And that's important because particularly if you're looking to shoot Milky Way, this percent right here shows you the percentage of how full that the moon is. And that's pretty important because you can see here that, for example, that's a 96.7% full moon. And basically, the more moonlight that there is, the more washed out that the Milky Way is going to be. So, you know, you want to make sure, generally, you know, we try to, you know, keep our shots no more than 10 to 20% moonlight, and we, you know, try to watch what's going on here. You know, that's not a hard and fast rule, and I'm sure other folks out there have some better guidelines, and please share. But this photographer's ephemeris, you know, you can basically go anywhere that that you want. You can, you know, drop a pin. You can basically configure various settings. You go back and you can save these pins, and you know, if you go back to a particular place, it really begins to help. And so, particularly, you can take it into the field. So again, here's the website, and you can go there. The other tool that we use a lot is Stellarium. Stellarium's free. It's open source. It can be a little particular in terms of working with that. I will go ahead and open it up, but it is a awesome tool to use because it really gives you sort of a virtual rendering of the location that you're going to be in, and what that night sky is going to look like. And so one thing I'll just point out, this is how you get out of Stellarium. It's the on-off button, and it's an important button to look for. What you do here is you actually can make this go faster. That'll show you the night sky. So for example, this is south. The location that I have sort of programmed in here is Sedona. The way that you program that location in, you know, you bring up the sidebar here. That's your location window. This can be a little bit picky sometimes, but basically how I got the latitude longitude is I went to Google. I looked up Sedona. I entered that in this format, and then I found another reference as to what the altitude is. It's important that you enter that in. It only takes meters. And I was able to save it, and that gave me what the night sky was going to look like. And you can pretty much do that. Now, this only runs on desktop, both PC as well as Mac, and you can actually take this into the field with you. It's a pretty awesome resource to have. You can sort of turn this around in terms of east. They give you various references. You can turn some things on and off in terms of what you like to have, what you don't like to have. If you just want that, for example, be able to see some different things. But what's really powerful is looking at the time. You can see the time here changing and where this Milky Way is going. And you can see that the Milky Way is curving. You can also see based on time as it's moving from south to west in Sedona, Arizona in this particular case. And based on time, we're able to sort of forecast when it's sort of going vertical. In tonight's sky, for example, you see where the moon is, when the moon's going to set. And we used this recently on a shoot. I'll share a picture with you. And we're able to forecast based on knowing the geography. We knew where there were certain landmarks, and we knew that when this Milky Way was sort of going to be going vertical by a landmark and at exactly what time, and we're able to sort of tee up a shot that we wanted to get, and in the the way that the Milky Way was going to be sort of positioned. And this really is where planning starts to come into play, and how these Milky Way shots are sort of lined up. And here you can see pretty much at about 4 in the morning, the Milky Way is pretty much gone. So Stellarium, extremely valuable tool. Highly recommend it. Again, stellarium.org. Great tool to have. A couple of tools that we take into the field. Starwalk on the iPhone, I think, is also available for the Android, but just a quick reference, it'll play where the Milky Way is, and a pretty great tool. Also plays some awesome music. And another awesome tool is Sunseeker, particularly if you're a photographer of any sort. You can see exactly where the sun's coming up at any given time of day. You can pinpoint your shots. They also have another app called Moonseeker. Great application to use. Strongly recommend these. And with these tools, you're really able to pre-plan, and with pre-planning, you can really begin now to line up your star shots, start to bring in the geography of that landscape, and really begin to prepare and get some dynamic, star shots. And that's something that will make your star photography get to that next level. Adam Schmid, Phoenix Rising Photography. I'm out here shooting the Milky Way. So Adam, I'll just ask you to take us through the paces in terms of what you do when you start to set up for a shot to begin shooting stars or even the Milky Way. What's like the first thing that you start to do?
One of the first things I do, I strap on my widest lens. Right now I've got a 14 to 24 millimeter. Fastest lens I've got is 2.8 as well. So I've got that on my Nikon D800, and I pretty much set it out to the widest it goes, almost about 14 millimeters or so. And then next up I went ahead and moved over to the manual mode on the camera. And then I've set it up for about the 20-second exposure, ISO about, I think my most recent shot here, just doing some test runs, was ISO 4000. Trying to get as much light into the camera as possible, get all those stars. And like I said before, f2.8. And then as far as doing a focus check, I just took a couple sample shots. I first set it on infinity and did a couple test shots and found where my sweet spot was. and I'm ready to just take the shot.
All right, can we just watch you sort of do a shot here?
Yeah, sure. I've got it on a timer mode, so I just go ahead. It's on manual focus, so it's not going to autofocus at all. Just push the shutter. It's going to take in about 5 seconds here, and it'll do our 20-second exposure. Here. And it looks like we got the Milky Way coming up here with some light pollution in from Phoenix there. And it's also lighting up, I can't remember the name of that one. I think that's some butte or something over there. But we've got Bell Rock over here. We've got the light painting from the little light we've got on the camera right now. But you can see the Milky Way clearly defined over there.
All right, Adam.
Over Bell Rock.
Awesome. Thanks a lot for the tips.
You're welcome, Ed.
And good luck shooting the Milky Way.
Thanks. Have a good one.
Right, shot all night. Adam, do you think we got any good stuff?
Hell yeah.
What sort of settings did you run most of the night for some of the Milky Way?
Milky Way was anywhere from, it was all f2.8. ISO range anywhere from about 2,000 to 5,000. And then timers, shutter speed was probably anywhere from about 20 seconds to 30 seconds.
We're just catching a sunrise at, what's the name of this place?
Lippin Point.
Lippin Point. So we're gonna go do some filter shots, try to get some cloud movement now, and then we'll hit the ride home for Phoenix, and hopefully we'll stay awake for that one.
Let's do it.
All right.